Alright, I think we live. Sorry for a little bit of a delay, guys, but I had to grab myself a Red Bull. Alright, hope you guys doing good. Hope everybody had a great week with a lot of grinding. This is exercise-free live stream week 149, and yeah, we're gonna be doing some exercise-free critiques. I am not gonna lie to you guys, we have a shit ton of submissions, so I'm gonna be sitting here for God knows how long, but I did some overpaints, and I looked through the files, and it's not looking that bad, so I think it's gonna be chill. Oh, by the way, hello to one and only Alex in the chat. He always out here. Okay, so without further ado, since I already wasted so much time and I'm literally like 10 minutes late, let's just start. So first up we have Valentina. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry, this Red Bull is so good. It's so unhealthy. Why am I doing this? Alright. Okay, and Valentina says, hi Julia, hope your week is going great. It actually is. I'm doing really good. Last week you told me to focus on the subtleties of each reference and to be careful with the angles of the eyes. Okay. Okay, so angles of the eyes. Okay. After working on the first reference, the guy with a lot of hair gel, I realized there was a good example in Discord and used it to compare to my design. One thing I don't understand about the good example is the forest eye. The example shows the three lines of the top eyelid almost completely, only missing the tear duct. To me, it works better by showing two of the lines of the top eyelid. Otherwise, we would see more of the iris, and we don't. This is how I drew it. Is my design valid as well? Thanks, Valentina. Okay, and the example... Wait, which one? So this one. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Wait, first last week, yeah, definitely some subtlety issues. Just a bit of proportions and a bit of design. And definitely the angles of the eye. Okay. So we have this one. And this one. And which one is the... After working on the first reference, the guy with a lot of hair gel. Oh my god. If I only knew... This can be gel too, but I think you're talking about this one. Yeah, actually, let's take a look at the good example from the Discord. Oh, my voice broke down. I understand. So on the Discord example, there's 3 lines, but since we cannot really see, yeah, how you did it is also a good method. So yeah, definitely your design is also pretty good. However, what I wanted to talk about, like, yeah, this is like a good design, but I still feel like there's like some subtleties that you could be like working on. So for example, see how if we like look at the shape of his eye, you can kind of see that the 3 lines are like really subtle, like you almost cannot see them. And in yours, it's like really obvious that it's like bam, 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 right? So what I would do at this point, since you have like a really good breakdown, I would kind of try to like massage in the 3 lines to kind of merge them together and create more of like natural looking eye. So see, like something like this. But like this is really important, like in order to like be able to do that and pull it off, you first have to have like the good free line breakdown how Valentina had it already. And then all you need is a bit of line weight in here. Probably make this upper eyelid a bit smaller because it's smaller on the reference. So like this. And then the other eye, as I said, is fine. So maybe this iris a bit more like this. And yeah, you would have yourself a pretty good eyes. So before and after. So just like making this a bit more rounder because it's a bit more rounder on the reference. Another subtlety that I'm catching is this nose. So I feel like the shapes, Valentina, are actually like perfect. Same for like the outer cheek. I really like the shapes that you're doing. However, like if we're gonna measure this nose from here to here, I feel like your nose appears a bit wider. Yeah, like just a bit, right? Like, see? But like, this matters. So I would grab this. And I would push it to be a bit smaller. See, so like before, after. Okay, another subtlety that I realized is definitely a little bit, see how like great you trace the eyebrow? Like the way you traced it is like this line, this, doing like this shape. And this is actually like a great tracing for an eyebrow. But if we take it close to like your freehand, you can see that you kind of somewhere in like along like the process you made this line kind of bend this way, and this one appears like it's bending this way, and you kind of like lost this cool feel how you had those shapes like this, and then like going like that, doing this little wrapping action, and then doing this, you know, like that would be like such a like better design for that eyebrow. And like, so I would just say like be super careful to like, if you like trace something, like try to like stick to it, because like this is like a great tracing, but like this is not the same. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, Valentina. Hopefully I'm in a good folder. Okay, yes I am. Okay, so I'm also gonna post side by side from my little OP. But yeah, other than that, I feel like now this is a pretty good work. So my biggest advice would be to like keep working on the subtleties. So keep working on like observing the reference and being like, oh, this is like more round, then I'm gonna like make it more round. Or like looking at your tracing and like following it to like have like better shapes for like this eyebrow. And lastly, like still like triple, quadruple check yourself for those little proportions like this nose, okay? So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check out the changes. I hope it makes sense. You're definitely improved so much from last week. But like still, like the battle with the subtleties is a tough one, but I think you're gonna make it, because like you're definitely improving. So just keep going, work on the stuff that I mentioned, Valentina, and we will see each other next week. But really good improvement. Okay, next up we have Alex. Let me take a sip. Okay. So, next up we have Alex, and he says, hold on, I had some movement on the chat. What's happening in the chat? Oh, Krista is here. Hello, Krista. And hello to Valentina. Valentina says, thanks, Julia. We'll keep working on those. Definitely do. Like, you're doing really, really good, Valentina. Okay. Next up we have Alex, and he says, "Hi Julia. Another week of grinding has passed and I'm back again. Last week, the cartilage of the nose in the front view was missing. The open mouth lines were too straight and too dark. Small design stuff. No questions this week, just tell me what to concentrate on for next time. Have a great week. Cheers, Alex." Okay, so let me look at the last week. Oh yeah, definitely stay away from these lines when you're doing a mouth with an opening. But this man handsome as hell. This man pretty handsome too. You know, this man missing cartilage from his nose, but you know, we all have flaws. I'm so stupid, I'm sorry. Okay. So, okay, this is this week. Yeah, and this one is looking pretty cool, especially like the breakdown for the cheek, and I like the nose. The cartilage is actually not missing, so that's great. And then we have this one, which is also looking pretty solid. I saw you posting today in the progress chat. Yeah, like in here. Like, that's so sick, Alex. This is sick. I cannot believe we really were here. That's kind of insane. It's kind of insane how far you've come. And I'm like taking it for granted and like roasting you like every stream, but damn, we really came a long way, didn't we? Okay. So we have this one and then this one. And again, I don't know what is it with you, Alex, and those fucking like front-facing views. I feel like it's such a hit or miss. Like sometimes you do them so well, and sometimes they like completely like fall apart. And you know, this time unfortunately it fell apart a little bit. So let me first maybe talk about this one. So overall, this is a really solid study. I'm like literally like simping for this nose. Like this nose is literally like perfect. I wouldn't do it better. And the only thing is like this curvature in here is like the line is a bit too dark and like it's a bit wobbly. But other than that, like the nostril game is like super good. The outer cheek literally so good. The chin so good. So the changes I did is, well, to the eyes. I'm at this point I'm feeling sorry. But it's always the same thing. But it's like sometimes like you have to learn when to like follow the reference and when to like kind of improve on it. Because like if we look at this dude's eye, like the angle would be kind of like this. So like I'm drawing a line from this corner, like this corner. Oh my god, can I like not miss it? I swear I'm an artist. So that would be kind of the angle. And it's a little bit tilted, you know? But because we know that the overall perspective of this man's head is a little bit more like the like this, right? I would definitely just like screw any type of rotation that the eye has like going on, even if it's like slight, and I would just like level it out. Because like your eye right now, I don't know, maybe like if you like drew it, you like amplified it by accident, but like I cannot make like a straight line today. I don't know, I think I'm a bit retarded. Okay, so this will be kind of like the angle of your eye, and then the perspective of the face is more like this. So it's kind of like go like tilted a bit too much. And then the other eye, actually this one is like following this perspective, like it's super parallel. So that's why this eye like stands out to me immediately. Okay, so with all that science, I tilted it like this way, although now I'm kind of realizing that maybe I tilted it a little bit too much even. So maybe I would level it out like this. So see, before and after. And another thing is like your guy, it was kind of hard to determine where he was looking. Like he was looking kind of in the camera, but also like it wasn't super clear. So I pushed his irises a little bit to the right, so he can look a little bit more into the camera. Okay, and lastly, like I kind of faded away this line and made it straighter, so he doesn't have like this like wobbliness in here. But yeah, everything else is like literally so good. I really like this work. I'm considering giving it a check just because of this nose, dude. I like those eyebrows too and everything. Yeah, this is really good work. So I'm gonna save this OP for the Discord. Maybe you can try doing like as a homework, like practice like tilting this eye into correct perspective. You know, following this, you know, trust the perspective rather than like weirdness on the reference. So I'm gonna save it for you, Alex, so definitely look at the Discord for this. And then for this guy, I feel like the first thing that stands out to me is a little bit that this chin, like I feel like on the reference it ends like, I mean, it's hard to tell because it's like in shadow, but like you have to remember that shadows are confusing and they kind of serve as like the outline. So like technically probably like his chin could be here, but because of the shadow, your eye is perceiving it as this is a bit higher. So I would bring his chin a little bit up. Then I noticed that the mouth was like, his mouth is like a bit smaller, like from here to here. And your mouth is looking a bit wider, or is it not? But it definitely like just has a different vibe to it. So you know how like I'm often like putting like the eyes into those boxes? Same thing can be done with a mouth. So the vibe for this guy's mouth would be kind of like this. And I feel like your guy's vibe for the mouth is more of like this elongated box. So do you feel like the difference? So this box feels longer and like more squished. So that's a technique that you can like also use for other features. Okay, and now for the OP. So I kind of liquefied him a bit, pushed the jaw a bit higher, made the lips feel a bit more like how they are on the reference. The nose also was ever so slightly too big, so I made it a bit smaller. And then really important, like I fucked around with like these lines in here, because you kind of had it like pointing out, and you kind of, because of this, you lost like the overall feel of this being like that. So be super careful when you're doing that, because it can play like a bad trick. So see, in here I also like brought it a bit more like this, and it make him look slimmer and more like sexy. Okay, so that was for the jaw. And then lastly for the eyes, like pretty good, but like just a bit more build up, because like they were looking a bit flat, so I added some more build up. Especially you can see on the reference, like he has like lashes, so it's really important to like add some more build up on this like outer lines to like give an illusion of those lashes. And then the eyebrows were lacking a bit of tapering. See, like super really nothing happening here. This one as well. So I kind of like made them more interesting and like, you know, made this one bigger and this line significantly smaller. Okay. So again, Alex, like the subtleties got you again, but you know, we're gonna get it next time, you know. So definitely when you're doing like a front, like pay so much attention to like the silhouette of the face, but be careful to like not get too caught up in it, because then you're gonna be like losing a bit of the structure, you know. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord as well, so you can check it out. So for next week, I want you to like again like work still a little bit on the subtleties, you know, focus on making the guys look really pretty. Then for this guy, as I said, be careful with like tilting the eyes, and still like work on the irises, but you're definitely heading in the good direction, Alex. Yeah, and for this one is really good, so I just want to see more works like this. Okay, so keep going, Alex, work on the stuff that I mentioned, and we'll see each other next week. Okay, great job. Okay, next up we have fur. Alex said something in the chat. The front guy is just so weird. I know something is annoying me with him and I have no idea why, but I will keep doing one a week to submit. Oh yeah, for the front guys. Alex says, it's weird, I really hated the Asian guy the most. And I think he is, and think he is a fail. Oh no, I think like the Asian guy is actually like, I mean, he is a bit weird still, but out of the three of them, I feel like he is like standing, you know. All right, now we have Fur. And Fur says, hi Julia, hope you're having a nice day. Last time you told me to work with subtleties and line variation. So this week I opened my last work to really study all the subtleties you show me and did one new work for this week since I studied all subtleties I have too many questions. Hopefully I won't overwhelm you. LOL. As always, thank you so much. You're so welcome, Fur. Let's see. Okay, so questions. Hello. For the silhouette in 3/4, I've noticed that sometimes the mouth line is added and sometimes no. So it depends on the reference, or in what does it? Yeah, it literally depends on the reference. For this guy, yeah, like for this guy, he doesn't have it, so we are not adding it. But this guy, like, he definitely on the reference, like, has this a little bit bump from the mouth circle, so we add it. So yes, this is depending on the reference. Okay, second question. In front view, sometimes the eyebrows don't follow perfectly the perspective of the head. So it also depends on the reference, isn't it? Eyebrows go a bit down. Let me look at those examples. Yeah, I think definitely it depends a little bit on the reference. I definitely feel like for the most part it's gonna be like this example. So, you know, they're gonna be following the actual perspective. So like I usually just like don't really mess with the upper line. I'm kind of like manipulating like the line inside. See? But like, yeah, I agree. Sometimes they have a bit of a tilt. It's just like really important to like neutralize the expression. But sometimes it's actually, if you make them super straight, you're giving them like a different expression. So it's all about like keeping them neutral. Rule of thumb is like, yes, they usually follow the perspective, but they can have like a slight angle inward, but it's really, really subtle and really, really slight, like in this. See, like really a bit. So I hope that answers the questions. Like, yeah, so the answer would be usually it follows the perspective, but it may have like a slight tilt sometimes. You just have to observe and like look if your sketches are having any kind of expressions, and like avoid that. So that was last time, and also this one. This one is looking pretty cool. Okay. Last time, your OP. Okay. Yeah, definitely the little bit, the jaw, the nose was a little bit too big, and the eyes did some work. Yeah, and now, yeah, I think like you got most of the changes, so great job on that. Okay, so this is what we are rolling now. Yeah, now this is really, really good. Okay, and then we have this one, and it's really important since this is like a front view. In front views, we actually, no matter what's happening, where's my pen? No matter what's happening, we always draw like the silhouette. So we draw this line, even though like in like 3/4, so like in here you wouldn't draw this line in here. But this is a front, so we always do this because we are framing the face, and this is actually like in front of this ear. So I would definitely add that line in here. So I would like add this line, and on the other side you had it, so that's great. Okay, so yeah, that would be like the silhouette in here. I feel like you kind of also missed out, like there's like this going in. So that would be kind of like the silhouette for him. Okay, and this is actually what I focused on the OP. Like you're having a bit of a trouble with the silhouette. So yes, I added this line. And it's like really important to like pay attention to the actual like angle, and even sometimes like we exaggerate it. So I like it's like this angle, so it's going a little bit inwards, and I feel like in yours you made it like like it's going a bit inwards, but you kind of lost it in your sketch, and it kind of felt like it's like straighter, like it's going like this. So I pushed it in to give him like more like boyish chiseled chin. And the same on the other side, I kind of made it more tilted so he can look a bit sexier. And then like pushed out a little bit of this cheekbone, because like you can see like it's like bam, 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 and like you can really see that this cheekbone in here is like going out of the silhouette. So I really made sure that this is like being shown. And then a little bit like this line you had in here, it was like, because you made it so straight, you kind of like stripped yourself from like opportunity to like show the cheekbone protruding. So if you look at like professional artists, let me just load my Instagram. Look, for example, at Angel's work. He often does this thing where he is like, see, like pushing this a bit like that, and this a little bit more in. And in here there is like this subtle bump happening, and this is exactly what we are trying to like capture here. So by you like making this like all wobbly, you're kind of like taking away the opportunity to like show that like this is going this way and this is going that way, and there is a cheekbone in here. So I would definitely wouldn't I would not add that. I mean, oh my god, I'm having a stroke, I'm so sorry. So see, like that immediately like he started to like look a bit better. So that was like the silhouette for the face. And again, like in here, like you were missing some of this like shapes that were happening. And it also like took away from the likeness. And then lastly, like I feel like you changed up a little bit of the silhouette of the hair. So you were like missing out this entire situation in here. So I tried adding it. And also you were missing a bit on this side, like this angle. So I also added it in. So my biggest feedback fair, and like by the way, features are like getting better, but definitely the biggest thing to focus on now would be those silhouettes. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord. So check it out fair, and definitely work a little bit on like capturing those subtleties of the angles and subtleties of the silhouette of the face, and work on the silhouette of the hair that you're doing. Other than that, it's pretty good. So just keep going fair, you will get there. Okay, great job. See you next week. Okay, next up we have Treasure. Okay. Treasure says, greetings, Julia. I'm using Clip Studio, by the way. I'm finally back on the grind. I've been unable to post or do any work for the past few weeks because of so many long-lasting power outages. Like seriously, at some point I slept the entire day due to no power. I felt so unproductive. Oh, I'm really sad to hear that. Hope it's gonna get better. Anyways, this is my first submission for lesson 3. And I have a feeling we are all going to be in here for a long while. Nonetheless, I really hope everyone is having an amazing day and enjoying the course regardless of whatever is happening in their lives. Remember to smile, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna smile more. The thing I seem to struggle with the most, for side view, the eye on the left is so hard to tackle. So I sent you 2 versions of it. I don't know which one you prefer. For front view, I feel like bro is slightly chubby. His jaw to me seems a bit off, but I just don't know why. For 3/4 view, I wanted to do the eyes just as Alu suggested from his OP, but I didn't understand what I was supposed to. It's not that I can't, I just need a good reason as to why I must do his eyes exactly like the reference. Okay, we'll see. Thanks to Alu for helping out. Shout out Alex. Okay. So let's see. So we have this one. Yeah, he definitely looks a bit chubby. Yeah, this one. Okay. Really good planes, by the way. Okay, and we have this one, version this and that. Yeah, definitely version 2. So that's a better version. Yeah, for the first time, I feel like you're doing pretty good. I really like the hair. I feel like you will just need more practice, but one thing I feel like you can definitely start working on like immediately would be your lines. I feel like they are feeling really like stiff. They really feel really stiff. So for example, you have like those really like small lines for the nostrils and stuff, and everything just feels really robotic. And if you look at the good examples on the Discord, the vibe that we are shooting for is a bit more like more flowy lines, and they are like looking more softer and just like a sketch, you know. And your lines feel like you did them with like ink, maybe. See, so like for this guy, like everything just feels more organic, and I feel like your lines look really artificial for some reason. So I did a bit of an OP. So on the left side is like how I would build up those lines. So as you can see, they're a bit softer, and like I'm allowing myself to like, you know, control, like have like a bit of a bigger brush, and then like just tap, like draw really lightly with it. can even see for the hair, like nothing is like too defined. They are like a bit more just like flowy, you know, not as stiff. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord treasure, so you can check out the line changes. But my biggest advice would be to like go onto the Discord, and like there's even like this example down, so you can just like look at the way the lines are looking here. So see how they're like, you know, a bit more organic. I don't know how it works in the Clip Studio, but I feel like definitely that's something I would focus on for now, like making your lines feel a bit more natural and less stiff. So really good design and stuff for the first time, but definitely work a little bit on those lines and just keep going. It will get better with time. Okay, so great job on submitting for the first time treasure. Just keep going. Hope you're gonna have less power outages. Oh my god. Okay. Next up we have Toyoko. And Toyoko says, "Hello, Julia. I hope you're having a great week." I am, thank you. Last week, issues for first one were lines too dark, especially for jaws, not enough tapering for eyebrows, eyes are not the same size, hair not following the reference. I hope there are less issues this week. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, definitely super dark lines. Definitely lines needed some work. Same in here. This one was pretty cool. The eye was a bit weird. And this is this week. Wow, this one is looking pretty good. Then we have this one that I did an OP for. And this one. Yeah, in here lines are looking really like faded. So that's also not the best. But I feel like in here you had like good balance, and in here it's also like pretty good balance. In here I don't really like why it's like everything looking so faded. And really important for hair like this, I would like you kind of went too anime on it, so I would kind of fade away some of this stuff. Like you can have some. Whoa, why do I have some kind of like blue tint? I would have some of this stuff because like I feel like some of this stuff in here is like actually useful, but definitely avoid making stuff like super pointy. So it's better to like combine stuff, you know, so maybe something like this in here. You know, something like this in here. This you captured pretty good. There's like this big space in here, so I would definitely add that. So yeah, something simpler, you know, and like less pointy for this hair. Okay, so for this one, I feel like it was looking pretty cool, but some subtle stuff that I wanted to mention. First of all, this is an Asian guy, so we don't really do like the upper eyelids how you did it, but we kind of do like this little line to like indicate the upper eyelid. Then this eye, if you like measure it on the reference, it's gonna be slightly longer than how you had it, because like we're looking at the entire eye and I feel like you were just looking at the eye white. So I would just make it, oh, it's actually like fitting, but something about this eye, it just felt like it's like the shape maybe or something, it just felt like a little bit off, so I elongated it and added like the double eyelid. Then the subtlety for the oh my god, like see how you had like super straight, like boom boom, and it's actually like it needs a bit of subtlety, so I would make this because like this is like rounded. So I rounded up this line a little bit to like communicate the form a little bit better and like this roundness. For the lips, you were missing like those lines for the planes, and because of that they looked a little bit flat, so I added it in here. Then like another like smaller stuff, like pay attention to like everything at this point, because you're like have really solid design, but now it's up to like polishing it. So see how you had just like this line for the ear and then like this line for the jaw, and it's actually like better if you like make them connect, and it's gonna just look like 10 times better and more like polished. Okay, and then for eyebrows, your eyebrows, like especially this line in here, it look a little bit like it's bending out, so I made it flatter, and it's actually gonna work better. And the other one, again, this felt too straight, so I made it more like wrapping. Okay, so at this point, Toyoko, you're like really close, like your design is looking really solid. And now it's just down to like hunting down those subtleties to like really push your work to like this graduation level. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord, so you can check it out. My biggest advice would be to like really focus now on like catching the subtleties. So again, in here I would work a little bit on those lips. I would work a little bit on the eyebrows, and yeah. And again, like simplify the hair. So work on that, Toyoko. You're getting significantly closer. Now it's just like getting from here to like here. Okay, so work on that. Work on the subtleties, Toyoko. And we will see each other next week. But you're definitely going in the right direction. Okay, next up we have Anthony. And Anthony says, "Hi Julia, how are you today?" I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good today too. Last week you told me I slipped up with my lines and lacked build-up, and to study my old work. Okay, I tried fixing them. What do you think? Thanks. Okay, so that was last week. Yeah, lines definitely could use some work. And now we here. Now we here. And now we here. Oh, yeah, you definitely, not only the line slipped, but I feel like the design slipped too. But I feel like the biggest thing right now that you can like work on, because I feel like it's like a common issue both for this study and like this study, is definitely like what I just showed to, I think, Fair. So see, like you're like not finishing this line, it's like killing the structure in the front looking faces. So the same way I like explain stuff to Fair in his critique, you can go back and watch it. It's really crucial for like the front facing angles to like not miss out on these lines, and really make sure that you're capturing perfectly the subtlety of the silhouette of the face, and it includes like the hairline. So not like, see how he didn't have that in here, so I added it in, and this too. It's really similar to yours. So in the OP that I did for you, like it's again similar to first critique, like just really like not missing any lines and like being confident with those lines, because that's the only way to like make the front looking portraits good. So I really like went in and like I analyzed exactly what's happening. Do I have like oh, this one, cool. So I really went in and like analyzed the angles. So like from here to here, and then from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here, and then we have like this going in, and in here like it's this, this is a bit more rounded, and then like there is like this situation like that, this, and then we have this situation. See, so like that would be kind of like the angle breakdown. That's like so important. And then like we have the hair and we have the neck here, and on the other side we have neck like this. So this is super important, and this is what you're missing. Like you're missing those decisions, and because of that the study is not looking pretty structural, and he's also looking a bit like he's melting. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, Anthony. The lines, I think they are getting better, but we're gonna have to tackle some design stuff. So I'm also gonna save this OP for the Discord so you can check it out. Okay, so work on those silhouettes and work on like capturing more angles and introduce some more straight lines to your drawings, okay? So work on that, Anthony, and we will see each other next week. But that's like the biggest issue that you're having right now, so work on that, okay? Great job, great improvements. Okay, next up we have Rebel. We drink some Red Bull. Alex says, Treasure is doing so good for his first week here. I'm still amazed. Yeah, he really is. It was really good first submission. Alright, and Rivel says, Hi Julia. Last week you said my design was good and that the only thing holding me back was the thinness of my lines. Fingers crossed I got it this time. One question. In my profile drawing, the eye lines up well over the reference, but because I'm not adding the shadow, it comes across as very small. Should I have enlarged it to make it look more balanced or keep it to the correct size? Thanks so much, Rebel. You're so welcome. Okay, let's see. So that was last week. Yeah, the designs were like pretty good, but the lines definitely killed the effect. Okay. This one, and then we have this one. Yeah, this one's pretty good. This one and this one. Oh yes, definitely make it bigger. 100%. So let me do it. Oh yeah, definitely, you know, not that small, definitely bigger. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out. Okay, so this one's for this. Other than that, that's a pretty cool study. Although, okay, one thing I wanna mention, this angel will kill you if he's gonna see it. Never add this, like, what we call, like, this part in here of this, like, skin connecting from the chin to the neck. We call it, like, the fat queen chin effect. So just, like, simplify it. Don't add that. Just connect it like this. So yeah, okay, so I'm gonna save it again. Okay, and then like in here I feel like this is a really solid study. The only thing, Revel, I think like the lines are getting better, but they still have a bit of this like stiff vibe. So I tried overpainting them a little bit. So see how all your lines, they look like really like you made them with like this kind of like movements, which is like not bad, but like it makes them look really like sharp, and they kind of lack that silkiness, you know? Like they would be like, they are like so much better than last week, but I still feel like they could be like more connected and more like silky and build up. So as you can see, like I think you can really see it in the eyebrows. Like it's just that your eyebrows feel a little bit like artificial. So I would just like try like loosening up a little bit within your line work. Just like see like this, just like this line in here is like a bit bigger brush, but like going over this a few times. So big brush and going over it a few times, so you create like this silky feeling. And this just feels like you did it like this, like once, and like the brush wasn't that big. So I think like design wise you're doing really well, but I would want to like see some improvements still in the actual lines. You can take a look at the Discord at some good examples. So the examples that I trust the most for the lines, it's like this one, really good lines, this one, really good lines, this one too, this one, really good, yeah, this one, okay, maybe not this one, you know, but this one too. So it's just about like making your lines feel a bit more silky and a bit more organic. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord, so you can check it out, Rebel. So my biggest advice is like, I feel like the designs are looking pretty good. They just gonna keep on getting better, but the main thing to work on are your lines. So focus on that, Rebel, and we will see each other next week. But definitely really, really good works. If the lines were a little bit better in here, I think I would give it a check. So you're definitely really close. Just try making your lines a bit more natural and be careful with those eyes and profile views, okay? So great job, you're going in the right direction, just keep going and we'll see each other next week. Okay, next up we have Mabel. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to change the music. Okay, so Mabel says, hello Julia. How you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good too. Last week I still had problems with the subtlety, but I think I understand what it is after seeing your feedback. I tried to work on that this week and hopefully my works have some subtlety by now. Thank you in advance, Mabel. Okay, you're so welcome. Let's see. Okay, so last work. Oh, this one was rough. This one. Okay, this is this week. And yeah, I think you're definitely starting to get it, Mabel. This is really, really good study. This one is pretty good as well. Although I think we have like a bit better example pinned in the channels. But I feel like you got pretty close to it. It's just that the nose, like the bump in here, it's a bit more subtle. But yeah, definitely pretty good. Okay. So for this one, actually, it has so much potential that I gave you a little bit of an OP. But it was mainly for like the eyes. So see how in yours, the eyes had like this shape and then this shape, and this is like pretty cool. But one thing I noticed about like the guy on the reference, he's like a bit more alert, like he like like if we were to like draw the entire iris, it would be like that. And the part that we are seeing, it's actually like not in the half. It's not half, but it's like a little, like we're seeing more than half, because so half would be like in here, but we're seeing a bit more. And like you're showing that we are looking exactly at the half. So I made it so like the shape is more like this. And also another thing that I'm like looking for when I'm looking at the eyes is like the tilt of your iris. So I felt like that would be like the tilt of this. If I were to like split it in half, it kind of implies that this is pointing this direction, and then this one is pointing this direction. And on the reference, it really feels like the tilt of this iris is like that, and the other one is like that. And it's really, really important when you're drawing eyes, like I'm talking to everybody now, that if you like imagine this tilt, like they should match. That's something that not a lot of people understand, but it's really, really important. So with that knowledge, when I did my OP, I made sure that this iris has like this tilt. And now they match. And he's looking straight into the camera and looking so, so good. So before, after. So I really like tweak the irises. Maybe I'm gonna zoom in. So before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay. And then like small things, but you kind of added like this weird bump in here, and I don't think it's too sexy, so I faded it away to be more straight, because like there is like a slight bump in here, but like overall if you zoom in, it mostly looks straight, so I made it straight. And then the eyebrows, they felt really like asymmetrical, because this one felt like thicker than the other one. Like this felt super thin, and this one felt like normal, so I normalized this one to be a bit more matching this one. And that's how we arrived in here. And yeah, so that would be my subtlety input now. So I feel like Mabel, right now you should like really focus on like the subtleties in the eyes, irises, and eyebrows. I feel like everything else you have pretty much covered. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord, so you can check out the changes, maybe do a little bit of an overpaint on your work so you can practice it. But definitely you're starting to get those subtleties, so I'm really, really proud of you. So yeah. This work is so good, dude. I'm like thinking, can I like make it into like a check or something? Can I? Let's see. If I wanted to like give it a check, is there anything else I would change? I feel like this eye could probably get more roundness. How it is on the reference. Yeah, definitely. I feel like it could get a check even like this. So I'm gonna give it a little check, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with this guy, so it would be cool to have it checked. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord with a check as well. Okay, so definitely you're doing really good, Mabel. Just keep going, and you're gonna start catching those subtleties yourself. But main thing to focus on would be like subtleties in the eyes and eyebrows. Okay, so great job, keep going. We will see each other next week. Okay, next up we have Camila. Let me drink some Red Bull. What's happening in this chat? Crystal says, man, it's been so long since I've actually been able to join a stream on time and watch the whole thing. Low-key miss Julia, not gonna lie. Oh, that's so cute. You guys making me blush. Okay. So Camila says, hi, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Hope you're doing good as well. I did new studies. I hope that I fix my last issues with proportions. Do you have any suggestions? Many thanks for your help. Okay. So this was last week. Definitely lines needed some help, but overall, like, pretty interesting choices. Not that bad. Okay, but definitely eyes, especially the build-up, needed some help. And this is where we at now. Okay, that is interesting. And then this one. Yeah, and I feel like you have like pretty similar issues to like last week, like just you're not getting some of the subtleties of the reference. So in here, I feel like the biggest thing was like this eye, how it doesn't really look like this on the reference. Like if we were to do like a breakdown on the reference, it's kind of like this line, this line, and this line in here. And if we look at yours, it's like this line is like almost horizontal. This line is like there, but it's too long. And then this line is pretty cool, but like a lot of stuff happened in here. And then like if we look at the shape of the iris, it's kind of like this. And if we put this shape of the iris on top of yours, see how like you have like this part that I'm marking with, well, like this is how much too big like your iris is. Like the shape is just different. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can take a look at that, Camila. And then for the OP, I first of all like tried to like fix this eye, but I feel like I would now need to push this in so it looks a bit more like the reference too. But yeah, I would need to spend a bit more time, so maybe just leave it like that. But I tried to like fix the most important stuff, so the breakdown of the 3 lines. And then you were missing the tapering in the eyebrow. Like I know that this guy doesn't have any tapering, but we always try to force a little bit of the tapering because that just always looks better. So by tapering, I mean that this line in here is like longer than this line in here. And because of that, like when you connect them, it's creating like, I'm gonna exaggerate, but this kind of shape. So this is bigger, this is smaller, and that's what we call tapering. And in yours, this line was exactly the same as this line, so the eyebrow looked really blocky. Okay, so I changed that. And I also feel like for the hair, especially for curly hair, you kind of lost some volume, like it was just too small. And my biggest advice for like curly hair is to avoid those pointy shapes. So avoid closing, like avoid those points, because this is something for like straight hair, but his hair is like really curly, and curly hair doesn't do those shapes. Like everything in curly hair is like rounded and like squiggly and like just like rounded and like doing all sort of this stuff. So for curly hair, definitely avoid any kind of pointy shapes. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, Camila. The biggest thing to focus on would be to still like catching the saddle design. Especially keep working on the eyes. Study good examples from the Discord. You know, especially like this one, this one, this one, for like some tips on the eyes, and be careful with the hair. Don't miss out on the silhouette of the hair. Avoid pointy shapes in the curly hair. And then like you would need to work a little bit on eyebrows too. Everything else is looking pretty okay for now. So work on that and we will see each other next week, okay? So great job. Next up we have Jason. Alright, and Jason says, "Hi Julia. Unfortunately, I was only able to make 2 this week. I wanted to maintain the consistency of making 3 a week, but my parents have been taking me out to the mall a lot lately, and with me being a homebody, I kinda hate it, lol. Can't you just like tell no to them? That's what I do. When somebody wants to take me out and I don't feel like it, I just say no and worry about nothing. Highly recommend." Okay, anyways. Yeah, and it's also okay to like submit how much you can, just like I want to see like top quality. Okay, have a great day. Julia, hope to see mistakes in my work. That's some warrior mindset right there. Okay, so we have this one and we have this one. And they are both looking pretty cool. I especially like the silhouette, I like the mouth and the nose. There's still some stuff about the eyes, but it's like really subtle. I just feel like the shapes you're doing for those irises, they really feel a bit like removed from the reference. Cause like if you turn on my OP, like I'm kind of making them more like rounded. Like just your shapes is just a little bit like boring. Like it really feels like robotic, like you're just doing this and that, and it's like this shape. I call it like a table because I always like imagine like it's like a table and you can like put something on it, because it's missing those little indentations in here. Like if you look at the reference, like the iris is just like such a cool like not even iris, but like those 2 shapes in here, they have like this little going in. And like if you show just a little bit of that, it always gives like the eyes a bit more like depth. So that's why I pushed it a little bit out, and this way this cool shape in here got created. See, so like you kind of had it, but it was just like not as prevalent. So see, like this just makes him look less like a zombie. Okay, but other than that, this is a really good study. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check out the changes for this guy. Oh yeah, and one thing I also wanted to mention, Jason, is like, I don't know how are you doing this, but it seems to me like you're like doing like the normal iris and stuff like that, and then you're like fading it away with an eraser, and it just creates this like really like fake look. So if you get to this point, like even with these shapes, like go over it so it doesn't look so like artificial. No, so like I would rather see something like this than like this kind of faded situation. Okay, so that's for this guy. Everything else is looking pretty cool. And then for this guy, again, I feel like it's really solid. The only thing is kinda like the eyebrows. Like I know he has like caterpillar eyebrows, but Angel's gonna have a stroke if he gonna see you doing caterpillar eyebrows. So I would definitely make them smaller. And then for those eyes, I really like how this guy has like this full roundness to his eyes in here and in here. And I feel like you were missing it a little bit, like this, like because you kind of like pushed. Oh shit! Like pushed this line in here, and like you like dismissed that there's like space. So I brought it in again. But other than that, a really solid study. So let me get it. I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out. But definitely, biggest thing were those eyebrows. You know, stay away from making them super big. All right. Okay, but overall, I think you can try out some lesson 4, because now they're like, this was like so subtle. I think you're like hitting that 80% mark. So yeah, congrats, Jason. Try out some lesson 4, but like I'm making no promises. Angel do be getting a bit more brutal lately with the lines, so definitely don't sleep any lower than that. And yeah, you know, try out some lesson 4. I hope I'm not gonna see you. Hope you're gonna stay there. Okay, so great job, Jason. Move on. Congrats. Okay. Next up, we have Christo. All right, and Christo says, "Hi, Julia. Hope you're doing well." Thank you so much, Christo. Hope you're doing well as well. Last time you told me my lines lacked confidence and that eyebrows needed more tapering. I feel like I still have an issue with the lines because I'm not confident in making design choices, but I'm sure it will come with mileage. And also I'm not sure when the lines are considered too dark, so I feel like I always make them too light. If you have any tips on that, I'd really appreciate it. Okay. Looking forward to your feedback. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great week, Krista. Thank you so much. Hope you're gonna have a great week too. Okay. So this was last week. Yeah, definitely we're missing some confidence in those lines. Okay, and now we here. And now we here. Yeah, I still feel like you're missing some of that confidence. And maybe still like some design stuff is like prevalence. Yeah, but I feel like in here it's like the most apparent to me that you would need like some work with the lines, because they kind of feel a little bit like unclear. So for example, like especially in here you have all those like little lines. So I would definitely try to clean it up. There will be time and space for being messy, but line weight is not the place. So see how like there's like all those little lines in here? I would like clean it all up, you know, to make sure everything is looking like top tier, super clean. Actually, if you look at the of Jason that we just talked about, like he exactly has this like clean vibe to his work. See, like I mean, Jason's lines are like borderline a bit stiff, but you know, they still like they don't like, they just really feel like cleaned up, you know. And even if he has like some messiness sometimes, it's just like not to like the extent that you have it, right? So it's okay to have a bit of messiness, but you know, you cannot have too much, because then it's like taking away from your design. So even like in here, like you have some of like this, and there's like a break in here. Like you have like this shape, and this shape, and you can like clearly see them. So I would just like maybe go over your works and like give it like a second pass. In here you have like the lips with the, again, like not finished. So I would finish that. You know, I would just really like focus on like making them super clean. See like how this nose, again, like this. So yeah, I definitely feel like Crystal, you still need to work on your lines. They need to get cleaner and even more confident. So as for the design, like yeah, like you should just keep going and it will get better. But for now, the biggest issue are those lines. In here it's a bit better, but still they just kind of feel a little bit like unconfident and a little bit like messy. So for example, if you look at the shape of this guy's tip of the nose, like he kind of has like, the situation is more like this. So maybe I would do something like this, or just make it straight, I don't know. And I feel like you kind of did it, but you kind of like lost this beautiful angle in here. So, you know, it's just that you still need some subtlety in the design, and you still need to work on your lines, you know? Or like, if not even for the nose, like, look how this eye is like this shape, then it's the iris, then there's a little bit of an eyelash, the upper eyelid. So that would be kind of how it should be looking. And look how in yours, this line in here is totally straight. And it should be like more in, and you're missing a bit of that eyelash. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, Crystal. But definitely work on your line confidence, work on cleaning up your lines, and pay even more attention to the subtle design of the reference. Okay, so do that, and we will see each other next week. Okay, but definitely work on the lines. Okay, next up we have Felix. Okay, and Felix says, "Hi Julia, hope you're doing good. Last week you sent me up to lesson 3, so here's my first try. Ooh, okay, that's gonna be interesting. Please give me some feedback and tell me where to focus on. As always, thank you for your time and have a great stream. Felix." Okay, so that was last week. Pretty good planes. And now we hear. Okay. And you know, they definitely look like a first try. So I'm not gonna go too harsh on you. My biggest advice would be to pay more attention. Like, I feel like you're paying pretty like a lot of attention actually, but like all around the reference, like you have like different subtle shapes for all of the stuff, right? So for example, for this nose in particular, you kind of have the subtle angles, but you're kind of like, you kind of made his nose a bit flat, because this angle in here is going out a bit more, and you made it a bit more like upright. So I'm not gonna give you too much critique, because I feel like you just need to do more in order to understand it. But what I can tell you right away is that you need to pay more attention to like those little angles, and another step would be like paying attention to like how much space is stuff taking up. So for example, like these lips, if you like mark it, this is how big they are. So you're missing in blue, this is how much of these lips you're actually missing, right? So, you know, and all around the reference, there is like a lot of those little stuff that you have to like pay attention to now. So moving on, pay attention to like little stuff, what we call subtleties, measure more to like, you know, avoid making mistakes like this mouth being too small, and overall just keep going. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, but for now my biggest advice is just do more. And here it's similar stuff, like if we look at this guy's eyes, I feel like they're reaching, like they're more like this, because I feel like you looked only at the white, but we're actually looking at like the entire eye, so it's gonna be a bit longer. Okay, so keep going, Felix. Really good for the first try. Pay more attention to the subtleties and just do more. Okay, great job. Okay, next up we have Engardi. Okay. And then Gardy says, I work on the eyes like you said and try to make the three lines merge but without losing the structure. That and try to improve my design and lines. Question. Did I merge the eyes good enough this time? Have my design improved? Thank you for your time and Gardy. Okay. So yeah, definitely you need to like make the three lines merge a little bit. And we have this one and we have this one. Yeah, and I feel like the design in Gardy is definitely getting better. But yeah, for those eyes, I still feel like you could use some work with like merging those lines. So I overpainted this one because it's like really important and Gardy to like, yeah, it's really important to have like the three lines. But what's even more important is that you're capturing whatever shapes are happening on the reference. So because this guy's eyes are a bit more like open and a bit big, the three lines would be like this line, this line, and this line. And they would create like kind of like this shape. You know, like really rounded eye. And like you traced it like pretty good, but then like you draw it really flat. Like how you traced it is like actually really good. But then like how you draw it, you kind of change the proportions. Because on your tracing, you have this, this, and that. And then on your drawing, you have this, this, and that. So you kind of squish those eyes, and it made him look different than he actually looks. So that's what I changed. I just tried making it look more like the reference. I don't think it's perfect. So I would probably like need to spend more time on those eyes. For example, now I just realized that the tear duct should be a bit higher. Like this, and on the other side as well. But yeah, I feel like you definitely need to like keep going with those eyes and try like making them a bit more like the reference. What helps me to see the shapes better sometimes, what you can do is you can take like a brush, make a new layer and make the opacity a bit smaller and just like fill in like the shape of this eye. So I will just like fill that in, you know, to like really see what's the actual like shape that I'm trying to convey in here. And then you would like see that this is actually like pretty rounded shape, right? This is kind of what we are trying to like convey, like this shape in here. And the same on the other side. You just fill it up. And you see, okay, this is like the shape that I'm trying to convey here. And then you'd be like, okay, so with that knowledge, I can make the breakdown for the lines. So I want this line, and this line. Okay, and for this one probably, this one, and this one. Oh, and there's like an iris in here, so this iris like kind of splits it into like this shape and the other shape. So, you know, that's also a way to like think about it. So maybe you can try that, and Gardy, if you're struggling. But definitely still it's gonna be eyes for you. But everything else is getting better. So you're definitely heading in the right direction. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out. Yeah, and in here, it's, yeah, again, I would do the same. I would just try to like merge the three lines a bit more. So that would be more like this. and the same on the other side. But see, like now that I changed it though, like those eyes are actually really, really good and guarded. So I feel like you would, like maybe the other guy was just like a step up, because this guy is pretty good. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord as well. Definitely keep going, keep working on the eyes to make them feel more natural and with like fading away the free lines. Okay, so great job, you're definitely going in the right direction. Just keep going, we will see each other next week. Okay, next up we have Devin. Okay, let me drink some Red Bull. Okay, Devin, and Devin says, "Hi Julia. Last time you encouraged me to be more accurate and drag my work over the reference more often. I have since adjusted my process. Have a great stream, Devin." Okay. So that was last week. Yeah, definitely would need some putting work on top of the reference. Okay. And now this time, is that like some kind of OP? What did they do? Okay, anyways. So we have this one, and yeah, this is like definitely looking better. Way better actually. And then we have this one and this one. And out of those three, I feel like this one is the strongest. And this one is the weakest, but this reference is just tends to be pretty hard. So kind of understandable. But I but I wanted to point out some stuff about this one. So the biggest thing I noticed, because like in here everything seemed pretty okay, but then like the really downfall was definitely the eyes. So it's really important that when you're doing the eyes, you're really focusing on like conveying the shapes from the reference. So if we're gonna actually like look at the shape that this eye is, you will see that the shapes are kinda something along the lines of those two. Right? So they're like really rounded. They're like, this eye is a bit more rounded than how you had it. So what I did is I was really trying to like convey this roundness in my eye, because in yours the free lines were like so obvious that I like you couldn't capture the roundness. So I had to like merge all the free lines kind of together in order to create this this arch. But this is the only way to do it. First you have to have the free lines, and after that you can really like go over it and like try to merge it and make it into something more organic and more closer to the reference. So that would be my OP for those eyes. So before like look like really like angular and like just missing some of this roundness, and then now way more round and way more looking like the reference, you know. And see how actually like now that I fixed the eyes, like the entire piece is kind of standing, because you had really good shapes for this nose, and the overall proportions are pretty good. So that's definitely something to like work on. So I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, David. Okay. And yeah, for this one, again, I feel like everything is looking kind of okay, but the eyes would need more work. And in here, the eyes are pretty cool, but they are missing a bit of like clarity and like, again, like a bit of this roundness still. So I would like make it more like this and this, and probably fade away some of this. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord as well if you want to check it out. But definitely work on making your eyes more rounded, Devin. Other than that, you're definitely heading in the right direction, so keep going. Okay, what's happening in the chat? Okay. Jason says, of course, Julia, I remember the tag we had on Discord. I want to make ugly sketches in lesson 4. Everybody's saying congrats to Jason. And Jason also said, thanks, I keep making tiny subtle mistakes, but I hope I can clear them out for good. Yeah, it's gonna come with time. And Krista says, thanks so much, Julia. I'll spend extra time on cleaning up the lines for next week. Question, was the opacity of the lines alright, or do I need to tone down on the darkness? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think the opacity is good. So you don't have problems with opacity. If anything, I would say that you can make some places a bit darker. Like, I would make like the upper eyelid a bit darker. I would make those nostrils a bit darker. And the bottom of the eyebrow a bit darker. Other than that, it's good. Okay. Next up, we have David, actually. Okay, and David, Jesus, David, I'm having a stroke over here with those names. Okay, so David says, hi, Julia. Last week you told me to make more time in the nose, to take more time in the nose area and nostrils. Okay, my only questions this time is, how are my lines? I see studies from other students and some have lines kind of faded and others more in the darker side, so I'm not really sure if mine are good or not. If you're in doubt, the biggest thing I can recommend you is going onto the Discord, and the studies that you can like trust the most in terms of lines is definitely this one in here, and this one. Those are the studies that I kind of like, I did them myself. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. So it's like they're a little bit darker always on the upper eyelid. The nostrils are a bit darker. The occlusions in the mouth. And it's just all about like keeping like a balance of like darker lines, lighter lines, thinner, and then like a bit thicker in places. Okay, so this one I would trust, this one I would trust, and this one for the front I would definitely trust. So I hope it answers the question. Okay. Okay, one is the newest and three is the oldest. Thanks for the critique, David. Okay, so this was last week. Okay. Yeah, definitely nostrils would need some work. Okay, and yeah, I feel like now definitely the nostrils got way better. Oh yeah, really good nostrils, David. Really good nostrils. Yeah. In here, I think I would be careful with this nostril. So I would probably grab it. And I would just stick it like, because it looked like it was stuck to like the outer line of the nose. And we never want to have that. So I would just like clearly separate it. Like this. So before and after. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord real quick so you can take a look. Okay. Yeah, and then in here, the nostrils definitely better. So I think like you got it now with the nostrils and overall like the noses. I feel like now they're looking pretty good. One thing I'm not sure though, it feels like your nose for some reason feels a bit thicker, I mean wider. So I think it's not about the width, it's more about how you convey the bottom plane. So if you look at this guy, like if you, I mean, maybe you can't see, but his because we are looking at him from like the bottom angle, we are seeing a lot of this bottom plane. So I feel like the ball would be actually more like in here. So that would be kind of the shape for the bottom. And I feel like you made it smaller. And that's why the nose felt to me like it's a little bit, like it's a little bit like too wide, because this proportion was like disturbed. Okay, so I would make it go here. Yeah, and I would probably need some refinement. Okay, and then with that, the nostrils will have to go probably higher. And then we are missing the cartilage. Okay, so before and after. So that's now looking a bit more like the reference. Okay, but I think I wanted to actually like point out is for the next thing that you should probably focus on, David, are the mouths. Okay, so that's the OP for the mouth that I did for you. And first of all, like your opening was way too big. If we're gonna trace this opening that you did, this, and you're gonna take it over to the reference. It's, first of all, it's bigger than the reference, which we never do. Opening always as big as the reference, or if anything, smaller. That's the rule of thumb. So, you know, I made it smaller. And then I think you should like work a little bit on like the subtlety of the corners and just like the shapes. So like if we're gonna look at this lips in here, the shapes for the upper eyelid, it's kind of more like this if you trace it. And if we take it over yours, your lips look like they're squished a little bit, and they just have a different shape. So I would like, when you're tracing, I would pay like extra attention to like everything, so they can look a bit more like the reference. Okay, so let me just take this from here. So that would be the OP. And that's the before. So before, oh shit, before, after, before, after. So it's a little bit on this nose still, like you have some subtleties left to tackle, but overall I feel like the nose is improved a lot. Next thing to focus on would be mouths, especially like focus on not making the openings too big, rather make them always smaller, and pay more attention to the shapes on the reference. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, David. So work on that, and we'll see each other next week. Okay, great job. Did you have any questions? Okay, yeah, and I answered stuff about lines. Okay, what's happening in the chat? Okay, Jason says, by the way, just a question, do we need to still simplify the eyes for lesson 4, or should we copy the reference completely? Some students copy the ears, and some still draw the simplified version. Are you talking about the ears or are you talking about eyes? Because like I'm getting mixed messages here. And Jason also says, dang, you did them? I knew it. I knew it. No wonder they look so effortlessly made. I mean, not all of them. I personally, like, I did this one I did from scratch because we were doing a painting of it. This one I overpainted. This one, it was also an overpaint, but like I overpainted it so heavily that there's no trace of the original. This one was done by Alexus. This one was done by Mayan. This one I did. And yeah, that's the kind of vibe. And this one Mayan also did, but you know, I agree 100% with like whatever Mayan and Alexis do, so you know, we're literally like same person. Okay, so yeah, Jason, if you can clarify if you're talking about the eyes or ears, that would be cool. Okay. Okay. Oh, Jason actually says, I mean the ears. Oh, the ears. I think you can keep them simplified. Definitely. Or maybe like the shapes from the reference. I don't know, like I feel like I would keep them simplified. The biggest rule of thumb for ears is just don't make them look like an unborn animal and then you're good. I usually don't really pay too much attention to ears, but definitely keep them how they are supposed to be according to planes. Okay, so now we have, I hope that answers your question, Jason. So yeah, you can do whatever, just don't make it look ugly. So with that logic, probably keep them simplified. Okay, so Cinemini says, hi Julia. Last time you said that I should pay more attention to the eyebrows. In addition to that, I should make sure the features look more similar to the reference. Okay. Let me know how I am doing. Thank you in advance. Question, no question this time. Okay. So this was last week. Yeah, definitely you need to like focus more on like making your dudes look like the reference. And now we here. Okay. And now we here. And now we here. Yeah, and I still feel like that would be like a valid feedback. Cause like all of your works, they look like some kind of cousins of those people. So like if we put it on top of the reference, it's like kind of fits, but like look, like his nose, if we trace like his nose in here, it's like this bump, this going out like this, this. And like if we turn on yours, like see those like how nose is like pushed a little bit to the left and like the tip is like a bit smaller. So like all of this is like stacking up and like it's making your study, even though it technically like matches on top of the reference, like all this little stuff is like really gonna show. See, like see how we kind of push the nostril a bit to the right? It's gonna also show. See how like the mouth has like different shapes and like it's a little bit too low, because on this one the center line is like in here and you have it lower, like, and even like the eyes, like the shape for this eye is more of like this, that, and you kind of have it, but like yours is like a bit different. So I would just recommend you, Cinemini, to put your work on top of the reference more often, because like you're still like missing like the likeness, like you're missing some of the likeness. And we are not shooting for like the perfect likeness, but some likeness is definitely needed. And it's really in all those like subtle stuff. So for example, you like tilted his jawline this way, and I feel like his jawline is like almost like straight like this, and you made it like tilted. So this is also something to like pay attention to. Again, for the lips, like they need to be like from here to here, and if you actually like analyze the shapes, it's like you have like the V in here, this, and then like this is kind of like more of a shape, or this, like I'm not saying do it like exactly like this and make it a bit weird, but definitely you should be like closer to what's like at least the width. Okay, so we actually have like a good example of this guy in the Discord, so you can definitely check him out. So it's this one. See, like again, it's not about perfect likeness, but it's about like having good design and like capturing the vibe of the person. Okay, so yeah, for this one I tried to like OP a little bit the eyes and the nose and the nostril. So maybe you can try like, you know, like really like observing. And I wanted to show you how I came up with this shape for the nostril. So because he has a piercing, I had to like, you know, imagine a little bit of this shape. So a bit like that. But definitely you have to like trace it, because I see you're not even tracing it. So make sure you're tracing the nostrils on top of the reference, because like if you have to guess, you're kind of making weird decisions. So I would just recommend you, Cinemini, to like work on the subtleties of your design, work on making your people look like the model, double down on putting your work on top of the reference, and make sure you're tracing nostrils. Okay, so do that, Cinemini, and we will go from there, because I feel like your design is pretty like it's pretty okay, but it's just that this is all like cool features, but those are not those people's features, right? Because like this dude's nose, it's like too small. Like this nose is literally from here to like here, and your nose is like missing. So when I'm saying that you're missing some subtleties and like likeness, it's like that's what I'm talking about. Like you have those subtle issues in proportions and subtle like issues with like capturing the shapes. And if you get it right, that's how you get the likeness. Okay, so try working on that a little bit, and we will see from there. But definitely it's better than last week, but you still need to work on that. Okay, so keep going, work on that, and we'll see each other next week. Okay, next up we have Bruno. Okay, and Bruno says, hi Julia, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Good. Jesus. So Angel sent me back to lesson 3 until I get my shit together. Oh, that's pretty rough. Because I was rushing the line weight part since I don't have much time to draw. Last week I was supposed to send you the drawings, but I forgot to send them after uploading. Okay, hope I've had some improvements in these 2 weeks, and also to improve even more with your tips. Okay, we'll see. Observations. Hi Julia, since I had some problems with my Google Drive, I couldn't upload the file with my email, so I asked Sydney if he could do me this favor for this week. Hope it isn't a problem. No, it's not a problem. He messaged me on Discord, so it's all cool. Okay, so this was what got you here. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's it's bad, but it's not terrible, you know. So we have also this one. This one is a bit better, but still, like, definitely could use some work. Okay, this one. So this was last week. Yeah, I think like your lines are super thin. This is also last week. Yeah, this one is looking pretty cool. Okay, and this is this week. Oh, this one is not looking too good. And then for this one, I feel like I'm gonna overpaint this one to kind of show you some stuff. So that's the overpaint. I feel like you're not super bad, but there's just like some stuff you have to like understand about the eyes and maybe a little bit like noses and mouths. So the biggest thing that I realized in all of your works, you have kind of an issue of like making your eyebrows like super small. Like we're in like 2007 and you're like a woman and you're like making it like 2007, like Miley Cyrus meme. Yeah, like, literally like your eyebrows look like this. See, like they're like super small, kind of really sharp, and they just look like kind of outdated. So, you know, this is not the vibe. We are going for the vibe of like sexy, beautiful, big eyebrows for like beautiful men. And this is definitely not what we want. So this is a no-no. This is a yes, like bigger eyebrows. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna trace on the reference the eyebrows for you, and I recommend you do that too for your studies from now on. So we start up with this line, then this one. We introduce some tapering, and boom, an eyebrow. Actually, maybe like let's taper it a bit more. So definitely this guy has like bigger eyebrows. So I would give him these bigger eyebrows. Well, maybe not as big as I trace, because I feel like that would be a bit too big, so I would probably make it slightly smaller. Okay, so I think like I would trace it like that. Yeah, and then for the actual OP, like, yeah, just definitely look how much they change. Like, they were like super sharp, you know, literally looking like these, like super small, super sharp eyebrows. And now they're like more flowy, and then like they have like tapering. By tapering, I mean this is bigger, and then this is smaller. And because of that, the shape is like getting smaller. Okay, so this is really important for the eyebrows, so make sure you're tracing them and you're not making them too small. And another thing were your eyes. So first of all, I don't know why are you like filling this up with darkness, but don't do that, you know. So that's at first. And then second thing, I feel like you have a tendency of making your eyes a little bit too narrow, like not wide enough. And how I like check for that is a lot of people have a problem that they kind of look at the eye and they think like this is eye is from here to here where the eye is, eye white ends. But look, like this is still an eyelash. This is also part of the eye. So the correct measurement of this eye is from here to here. So it's way more wider than yours. So So this is like my overpainted one, and so, as you can see, it matches, and yours was missing this. So see, really important. Before, missing, after. So that would be it for the eyes. Other than that, like the shapes are pretty good, but it's just the proportions were a bit off. Yeah, and then for the nostrils, like, I don't know why are you not adding the bottom line, just add it. So, yeah, Bruno, I feel like, you know, with some work, you can, like, get somewhere cool. So, it's chill. So I'm gonna save it, overpaint for the Discord. Let me, for the eyebrows, put it back on this man. Okay, we definitely want some Miley Cyrus action, so let me get these. Really important. Why is like both of... Why are... This is also overpaint. What the heck? What did I do? This is the original. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord, Bruno, so you can check it out. And yeah, definitely work mainly on your eyes and eyebrows. Everything else is doing okay. So that would be like the biggest thing to solve right now. Okay, so great job, keep going, work on that stuff, and we'll see each other next week. Okay, next up we have Alan. We drink some Red Bull. Should be staying in the chat. Crystal says, not the cursed Miley Cyrus image again. She's back! She's back. She's coming. Alex says, it will haunt us forever. Crystal says, the ghost of Lineweight live streams. Every now and then she comes back to haunt us. Yeah, but like, to be fair, it's been a while since I used her, so maybe that means that you guys getting better at eyebrows. Okay. And lastly, we have Alan. And Alan says, hi Julia, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. I actually am. Last week you said that my lines were holding me back. It was too thick and inky. This week I rewatched the line video and tried to make the lines as silky as possible. I don't have any questions this week. Just want to see my progress. Thank you, Alan. Okay. So that was last week. Yeah, pretty cool design actually, but the lines were looking too dark and not silky enough. And now we're here. Oh yeah, the lines are getting better. Yeah, lines definitely getting there for sure. Okay, and then this one. Yeah, I feel like your lines got so much better, Alan. Yeah, I think like this study feels pretty good as well. I just feel like the silhouette could be improved a little bit, because like we know this man. This is Timothy, and we know this man because we have, I think, like 4 references of him in our course. And one thing that can be said about this man is that he's a really angular guy. I also happen to paint him, and I also like realize he's a really angular guy, and this angularity is what makes him like a really beautiful man. And it's like a hate crime to like not capture those beautiful angles when you're like drawing or painting him. And because of that when you're drawing him, I would stay away from like removing this angularity. So if I were to trace him, like all those angles, so I like how you addressed this, so this is really good. So this and this really important, and you did bit of this going in, so that's great too. I think it's like going from here to here. Then this you also did. That's also amazing. And then from here to here. Then like this chin, I would make it more angular from here, probably around here, here. So I feel like that's how I would do like his silhouette. So I feel like you kind of got it. I would maybe just push the left side in here, be like more angular. Then like I would definitely attempt to make his chin a bit more angular. I would push this in. I would try making this more angular. Wow, I think I cannot really do it with liquify, can I? It's gonna be kind of hard. Well, I tried. So maybe gonna... Oh, yes. We're getting there. I swear, guys, I love this model so much, and you always, like, traumatize me. Okay. Oh shit, I work on the actual... Great. Okay, so before the silhouette and after. So see, like it's all about like looking at the reference and bringing in some of that like what we call angles, right? Because those are like straight lines that really make the jaw look really, really good. You know, and it's not like that for every reference, but like for most of them, and definitely for this reference in particular. Okay, so I'm gonna save it for the Discord so you can check it out, Alan, and also side by side. Okay. Okay, and for the other ones, I feel like you're doing pretty good. And here it's like you're missing a bit of like subtlety of that nose, because this nose, it's like you would need to introduce like a really subtle bump. I'm not saying do it exactly like that and also do this biggest nostril, but definitely a subtle bump, then like a line for the bow. And then like everything else pretty much how you did it, but this is like a subtle thing that you kind of missed. And then for the eye, like he has it more like this, and you would need a bit of eyelash. Okay, I'm gonna save it for the Discord as well. But yeah, I feel like you're definitely heading in the right direction, Alan. I was just, again, like paying more attention to like the silhouette of stuff, the shapes that are happening. Lines got way, way, way better, and you're definitely getting closer and closer. So I would just say like keep working on the how you're capturing like the silhouette, because like this is also considered silhouette. And this is also like capturing the silhouette. So work on that, Alan, and we will see each other next week, but you're definitely heading in the right direction. This is your best work so far. Okay, so do that and keep going. All right, and that was everybody. Okay, and Bruno says, thanks, Julia. Your eyes tips helped me a lot. As for the lines, I noticed I was making them too wide and it was affecting a little of my shading. Are they okay now? Can I stick with that wideness? Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I think they are like, the wideness, the lines are fine. Okay. Yeah, definitely before they were a bit too thick. Okay. So the thickness is good now. Okay, Jason says, not Miley getting roasted for the sake of education. Well, it's all for education purposes, guys. I swear to God. It's the revenge for the Miley brows. She must have gotten the worst of both worlds, I guess. That was a good pun, Crystal. I like it. But like, you know, nobody's perfect. And everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days when they just do like really thin eyebrows, but we cannot let that mistakes define us, you know. And on that note, thank you everybody for watching today. Amazing job. So keep grinding, guys. Keep going. You know, keep working. You will get there. Just see you next week and bye.